Well, hello everybody, and welcome to Starry Tarot. Good to see you today. Happy Monday to everybody. For those of you who are returning, welcome back. Good to see you. If you are new here, welcome, and thank you for your subscription and joining the channel. My name is Sophie. For those of you who don't know, I am your friendly tarot reader. For today, I can answer any of your questions with the exception of medical and or legal questions. But anything else, you name it, I can answer it. There are a few questions that tarot can't answer, such as specific names of people or specific dates. But with those questions, we can always answer them. They're always answerable, even if they're not answerable in the way they're initially stated. We can always reword it so that it can be a confirmed yes or no. So yeah, I offer readings of any kind. My menu is posted at the top of the chat, and throughout the chat, Nightbot is my lovely AI moderator, and he will be posting my donation information. I offer 3 different basic types of readings. First reading is a mini reading that consists of 1 question and 5 cards. That is $7.77 if you donate using Venmo, Cashapp, or PayPal. If you need to use SuperChat, it is $9.99, and this is all USD. I also offer a 10-card full reading, which I highly recommend. That is $14.14, again, over PayPal, Cash App, or Venmo, or $20.20 over Super Chat, and that consists of 10 cards. It can be done with just 1 question, or we can split it into 2 5-card questions. And then I also offer an in-depth or expanded reading, which is $21.21, unless you need to use Super Chat, in which it is $29.29. And that is 15 cards. It can be 1 question, 2 questions, or 3, either a 10 and a 5-card question, 3 5-card questions, or 1 15-card question. And again, I can answer any of your questions. We will be right back. 1 moment. Sorry about that. Just had an important yet brief phone call. So yes, I offer those 3 types of basic readings for any of your questions, but then I also offer a menu of a variety of different types of readings for your introspective pleasures and needs. I am here to bring clarity, to shed light where there is darkness. I answer all sorts of questions. I answer a lot of romance questions, a lot of interpersonal relationship love questions, a lot of career questions, a lot of finance, a lot of spirituality, spiritual questions. But I am also a psychic medium. I can communicate with those who have passed on. This is something I've been able to do for quite a while without using tarot. But I've been reading professionally now for 5 years, a little over 5 years, and about 2 years into reading professionally, I realized that I was able to use tarot as a modality for communicating with those who are no longer on this earthly plane. If that is something that you are interested, please let me know. I do need to know their date of birth, their date of passing, their name, and their relation to you. And yes, if that is something you are interested in, I would be honored to read for you. And that is $35.35. Again, you can use Venmo, PayPal, or Cashapp, and it is $50.50 if you need to use SuperChat. As I mentioned, I answer a lot of romance questions. The first suggestion that I offer for that, if you do have a question related to matters of the heart, is my love reading, and that's at no additional donation amount. It's the same amount as a mini reading, full. It can be done with a full mini or an in-depth reading, it doesn't matter. But it essentially answers, actually not 3 questions in one, but 5. When a client of mine, usually a new client who doesn't know about my love reading, comes to me and asks a question about how someone feels about them, how they regard them, and it doesn't necessarily have to be romantic. I've done my love or my TFI spread, thoughts, feelings, and intentions spread, for not just romantic partners. I've done it for people's coworkers, neighbors, family members, their pets. So it essentially answers 5 questions in one. It answers what their current thoughts are towards you, their current feelings are towards you at this time, and their current intentions, as well as their overall general energies towards the connection, and as well as your overall general energies towards the connection. So I highly recommend that reading if there's someone who you are interested in right now, especially if it's someone who's rather new. I would suggest it for someone who's rather new in your life, if you're wondering what their intentions are and where they're standing. Or I read the TFI spread for people who have been in relationships for many, many years, and they sense an energy shift and just want to check in on their partner and the connection. So I highly recommend that. I also, in the realm of romance and love, also highly recommend my soulmate confirmation reading. That is pretty self-explanatory. I directly ask your angels, messengers, and ancestral spirit guides if the person who is currently in your life is indeed a soulmate of yours. If the answer is yes, they will answer why. If the answer is no, they will answer why not. And we have many different soulmates, and they come in many different capacities. So it's sometimes, and again, this does not have to be simply for romantic reasons. I've done soulmate readings for people's family members, friends, coworkers, neighbors, etc. And it's always fascinating. And then alternatively, with the soulmate reading, I can also ask it, just directly ask your angels, messengers, and spirit guides if they give their blessing towards the person who you are questioning, who's currently in your life. I recommend this, again, not just for romantic connections, for a variety of different connections, but I highly recommend it for someone who's in your life currently at this time. Doesn't have to be for an extended amount of time. It could be someone who you've only known for about a month or so. I wouldn't recommend it for someone who you've only known for maybe like a week, but I highly recommend it for especially if you feel just an intuitive pull or connection towards someone in your life, and you're just questioning where their place is and where your place is in their life. And that is $16.16, unless you need to use SuperChat, in which it is $23.23. I also I also offer past life regression readings. I have been studying past life regression therapy since I was very, very young. I have engaged in past life regression therapy. I've been regressed. I've regressed others. Long before I was doing tarot professionally. As I mentioned a little while ago, I've been doing tarot professionally for a little over 5 years now. And about 2 years into my practice, I noticed that, and it was typically during general spirit readings, I was channeling people's past lives. I was recognizing my ability to read past lives in my ability to utilize tarot. So it's a very different, I read differently. It's a different type of reading. The past life, not a different type of reading in the sense of it being different for you, just in the sense of it's more visual, more intuitively visual for me. And we just received our first donation. Thank you so much, Matt. Good to see you, my friend. How are you doing? Hey. Hope you. That's so funny. I swear, every time you come to my channel, I swear you have a new username. I hope you're doing weird. Um, I'm doing well. I'm doing all right. I'll be honest. I'm doing a little weird today myself. It feels. I know we're out of Mercury retrograde, but it low key kind of still feels like we're in it. My card today was the King of Cups reversed, and very much feels like it. A little emotionally imbalanced, but you know, we deal with the cards that were dealt, right? So let me go with the flow. At least that's what I'm trying to do. Yeah, and it's Monday, you know. How can I help you, my friend? You donated for a 15 card reading. Did you want to do a 15 card reading, or did you want to split this into a couple or a few different questions? Really, yeah, all you can do some days. Yeah, no, I had some things I needed to get done earlier today, and I'll be honest, I didn't have I didn't have work at my other job today. I slept in much longer than I should have. Yeah, I didn't get certain things done that I should have gotten done, but there's always tomorrow. Oh, and by the by, we are using the adorable Cinema Roll Tarot deck. This is one of my 2 Sanrio Tarot decks. I also have the little Twin Stars Tarot deck by the same artist. It is a licensed Sanrio product, as you can see here, by the artist Luna Factory. And she also has a My Melody Tarot deck, which I plan on getting very soon. So look forward to that if you're into that. Okay, so I wanted to do one OG reading on Rebecca. I'll give you the deets as we go along. You got it? You got it. Angels, Masters, and Spirit Guides, what are Rebecca's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Matt? Angels, Masters, and Spirit Guides, what are Rebecca's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Matt? Angels, Masters, and Spirit Guides, what are Rebecca's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Matt? Angels, Masters, and Spirit Guides, what are Rebecca's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Matt? Angels, Masters, and Spirit Guides, what are Rebecca's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Matt? Angels, Masters, and Spirit Guides, what are Rebecca's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Matt? Angels, Masters, and Spirit Guides, what are Rebecca's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Matt? Angels, Masters, and Spirit Guides, what are Rebecca's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Matt? Angels, Masters, and Spirit Guides, what are Rebecca's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Matt? Angels, Masters, and Spirit Guides, what are Rebecca's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Matt? Angels, Masters, and Spirit Guides, what are Rebecca's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Matt? Angels, Masters, and Spirit Guides, what are Rebecca's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Matt? Angels, Masters, and Spirit Guides, what are Rebecca's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Matt? Angels, Masters, and Spirit Guides, what are Rebecca's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Matt? Angels, Masters, and Spirit Guides, what are Rebecca's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Matt? Angels, Masters, and Spirit Guides, what are Rebecca's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Matt? Angels, Masters, and Spirit Guides, what are Rebecca's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Matt? Angels, Masters, and Spirit Guides, what are Rebecca's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Matt? Angels, Masters, and Spirit Guides, what are Rebecca's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Matt? Angels, Masters, and Spirit Guides, what are Rebecca's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Matt? Okay, so I don't know if you remember, but last year she was trolling me on TikTok on a few accounts. That catastrophic account was one of them. I do recall that. I do remember that. Yeah, I do remember that, Matt. We have the World, Ace of Pentacles, Nine of Swords reversed, King of Swords reversed, Knight of Cups, Five of Pentacles, King of Cups, Eight of Wands, the Chariot reversed, Seven of Cups reversed, Queen of Pentacles, the Wheel of Fortune, Ten of Wands, Judgment reversed, and Queen of Cups. Okay. I don't want to just cursorily, I don't think that's a word, but just like at a cursory glance say this looks very much like more of the same energy that I see a lot. Well, I shared a link to a TT video on YouTube, and guess who showed up? Catastrophic. TT shows you who clicked on a shared link. Okay, so she's still watching you. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. Let's start with your current energies. We have the World, the Five of Pentacles, and the Queen of Pentacles. This is telling me that this is telling me a couple of things. This Queen of Pentacles, as much as you probably hate to admit it, you still do value her. You still do have some affection for her. But at the same time, you also see the big picture with this Five of Pentacles, that she is leaving you out in the cold. She's just stalking you. Her energy is palpable because she's thinking about you constantly. And I'll get to that in a moment. And she's watching you constantly. But she's not following through with anything. And the world is telling me, and correct me if I'm wrong, but the world is telling me that you're as much as you still do value, there is a spot in your heart that does value her, you're really over it. And I think you have been over this for a while in terms of practicality. Yes, there's a spot for her in your heart that's hard to let go of, but you also see the big picture. Her general energies, we have the Knight of Cups, Seven of Cups reversed, and the Queen of Cups, which is her court card. We have both her court card and her major arcana card here. Her general energy is the Knight of Cups. Yeah, she definitely still holds a cup of love for you. Very much so. She definitely still harbors very deep romantic sentiments towards you. She still has fantasies of being your queen. She holds a cup of love for you. She holds a cup of affection for you. Yeah, what do we have here right in the center? The Seven of Cups reversed. Seven of Cups reversed is avoiding making romantic decisions. Avoiding making decisions, period. But when we're talking about romance, for sure, that's avoiding making a romantic decision that needs to be made. She'd pop up on that catastrophic account, then disappear, then come back, and she's back again. I confronted her on that account last year, but she lied to me. It feels very much like she's playing a game with me. Yes. But I don't, do I think she's playing a game with you? Yes. Do I think she's intentionally playing a game with you? No. I think what's going on is she's so very, the emotions and feelings that she has for you, and I'm going to get to that more, are undeniable. They're undeniable, Matt. You know, I don't BS. But she's so guarded and so fearful that she knows that she's as much as she wants to actually be with you, she's too scared. So she keeps you at a distance. She observes you, she watches you, she thinks about you, because that's the capacity that she has for you. That's all that she has emotionally for you, for anyone in her life romantically. So she lurks. Does she know that this is frustrating and hurtful towards you? It's possible. Do I think it's intentional? No. And I'm not making excuses for her. She's just a very troubled person, and it is creepy. She lurks. But it's also a self-preservation mechanism. Do you see what I'm saying here? Even though I know you wouldn't hurt her, she's. I almost want to say she's resigned to herself to no more romance in her life, but hell if she doesn't still fantasize about it, and you're the one she still fantasizes about. She knows she can't have you, or at this time isn't ready to have you, anyone in her life, IRL, in an adult manner. So she keeps you at arm's length where she can have you and thinks that you can't see her. Or sometimes I think she doesn't care that you see her. It gives her that protection. I absolutely understand that. Yeah. I totally hear you. Absolutely. And she's using you for self-preservation, to save her emotions out of fear. Fear is the opposite of love. And this is why it's coming out in such a gross way. Her thoughts towards you, we have the Ace of Pentacles, the King of Cups, and the Wheel of Fortune. Here's the thing, though. I think that she does fantasize. I think she thinks one day she'll be ready, and you'll still be there. Ace of Pentacles, a new beginning. King of Cups, she thinks that you are her King of Cups. We have the King of Cups and the Queen of Cups here. The Wheel of Fortune, in the future, things will move forward. I think that's another reason why she still lurks and holds on, is because while she's not ready now, she does fantasize, and those fantasies aren't just empty. I think she actually does really, as much as they scare her at this time, I think she does believe that she'll someday be ready. And I see that right here, starting with her feelings. We have this Nine of Swords reverse. While she's terrified right now of the reality of being in an actual committed romantic adult relationship, she feels as though her fear will abate in the future. And I see this future card right underneath with this Eight of Wands. She feels that in time, her feelings of fear of moving towards you will abate, and she will she feels like she will be able to move towards you and communicate with you in a way that is transparent and open. But at this time, she does feel like it's far too much for her to start, far too much for her to initiate at this time and embark on with this Ten of Wands. So her intentions, as it stands right now, we have the King of Swords reversed, the Chariot reversed, and Judgment reversed. Her intentions at this time, currently, nothing but lurking. King of Swords reversed. This is her observing you from afar in its reverse form. It's in the guise of darkness. And there is a level of manipulation here, whether it's intentional or not. She's observing you from afar because it's comfortable for her, but it's at your emotional expense that she's not taking into consideration. And here we go with this Chariot reverse. She's a Cancer. This is her card. The Chariot, not moving forward, not turning the wheels in any intentional direction, not making a decision. Seven of Cups reverse, not moving forward, not making a decision, not making a judgment call in terms of intention with this Judgment reversed. So, I see this very clearly here. And you may see it as well. I know you know tarot. I mean, you see her thoughts, her feelings. They're as clear as day. They're crystal clear. She absolutely has feelings for you. Which wasn't, well, yes, it was the question. You wanted to know her thoughts, feelings, and intentions. But I'm also seeing someone who has no intentions at this time. Doesn't mean that they, and I'm not saying this to give you a false sense of hope, that's not me. I think she genuinely feels as though one of these days she'll feel ready. It is crystal clear, which is what is so frustrating. I understand. I totally hear you, Matt. Yeah, just because it's crystal clear doesn't mean that it's a good reading by any means, but good in the sense that it's very clear what's going on. We've got clarity. Um, the game playing thing, yeah, that has to be acknowledged. Do I think she's trying to hurt you? Do I think she wants to play games with you? I don't think she does. I think if she had things her way, emotionally, mentally, she's not mentally well. I think if she had more agency over her mental health, I think I honestly think she doesn't want things this way. She would rather have you in real life. It's just her fears hold her back tremendously. And as I always say, fear is the opposite of love. Fear is what holds us back from the love that we desire and deserve. So yeah, I don't know if she knew that you could see that she'd watched your reposted TikTok. If she knows that you can see, if she wants you to see, if she cares if you see. But yeah, she's definitely keeping you. Not no intentions of stopping. Watching you or observing you, seeing where you're at, because you're on her mind all the time. Wow. Oh well, I'm not gonna spin on it. She can do what she wants, I guess. Yeah, the best thing you can do, Matt, honestly, is it's painful. I know it's frustrating. It's really frustrating. Um, but if she's not ready, she's not ready for anyone, and there's no point in being with someone if they know that they can't be in a relationship. Just because two people care about one another doesn't mean that they should be together. At least it could be just a matter of wrong place, wrong time. But yeah, I can understand the frustration. Absolutely, it's like just go away, or actually be present. I've been there. I 100% empathize with you, Matt. Yeah, yeah. It's selfish. It's very selfish. People, and it's happened to me, and people who do that, they do it for selfish reasons, and whether intentional or not, it is selfish. It doesn't take regard. They're not taking regard for the other person's feelings. Yeah, it's incredibly selfish. But with that being said, people who are suffering from mental illnesses, it sounds, and we all do in different degrees, but it sounds like she's suffering severely mentally. Um, that not inadvertently, but that is essentially a side effect of a lot of mental illnesses. Is we become very selfish and self-preservative, because when I say we, I mean people who are not well. They become very self-preservative, um, and very selfish, not intentionally, but as a result of their illness. And usually, the worse the mental illness, the more prominent that selfish behavior can be. Um, and again, I don't feel like it's intentional, and I don't think it's the way that she wants it to be. She's not a happy person. She's not in a good place, and I'm not here to tell you that that wasn't what you asked me, but and I'm not making excuses for her at all. Um, but she's a very unhealed person, and if she doesn't feel like she's ready for love, then she likely isn't. A lot of people who are unhealed feel like they're ready for love, but aren't. And while I do see someone who's not well mentally, I do see that that's one thing she's aware of, is I don't think she's ready for love. I think if she were to try to initiate something and jump into something with you, I think it would end in tears, and I think it would end quickly at this time. until she's healed. And I think that's her fear, is if she's going to start something with you, she doesn't want it to start and F up and then lose her chance. I think she does sincerely believe that she's going to get better and just hopes that you'll still be there. Because the feelings are real. It's just a sad situation. I understand. Well, thank you very much, Matt. I appreciate you, as always. And yeah, that was a very clear reading. What's going on here? Oh, wow. Thank you again, Matt. I appreciate you. All right. So the donation queue is currently open. You're very welcome, Matt. You are very welcome as always. Always. So the donation queue is currently open. I also offer private readings offline. I offer 2 different types of private readings. I offer them by appointment only. Those are over Zoom. They're basically what you're seeing here. You see the cards, you see me, you hear me, I hear you, I can see you if you want me to see you. But that is by appointment only, and there's no limit to the number of questions we can answer. There's no limit to the number of cards I can pull. I highly recommend those for everyone. They're one-on-one. It offers that level of privacy and discretion that a live stream just doesn't offer. You can give me all the backstory and context that you need, and it helps you understand me more as a reader, helps me understand you more as a reader. I highly recommend it for everyone at least once. But especially if you're going through something that's particularly multifaceted, has multiple layers, or if you're dealing with more than one issue at this time that has lots of questions, I really recommend that, because there's no interruptions and you can give me all the content. And it's just one-on-one. There's no waiting to type, waiting to read. There's no lags or anything like that. And then I also offer private readings at no additional donation amount. You could just send me your donation anytime with your question, and I can return it to you. I can answer your question, usually within 2 to 3 hours, sometimes shorter. At the very longest, within 24 hours. But that's very, very rare. I always have at least one deck of cards on me. But just make sure that you send your question with your donation. That's really good for, again, reasons of privacy and discretion. Because it's offline, I read it over DMs. Voice memos over DMs on Instagram, or typed over email. And also for reasons of convenience, if you have a question that you need me to answer and I'm not online, I can answer it for you. So I am always here. So yeah, with that being said, as I mentioned, the donation queue is currently open. So whoever donates next will be read for next. Thank you very, very much. Thank you so much, Brian, for your donation, my friend. How are you doing today? I'll go ahead and add you here. Are me, Jeremy, Jeff, Paul, and my dad all going to meet up again in April? Okay. Angels, Masters, and Spirit Guides. Are Brian, Jeremy, Jeff, Paul, and his dad going to meet up again in April? Angels, Masters, and Spirit Guides. Are Brian, Jeremy, Jeff, Paul, and his dad going to meet up again in April? Angels, Masters, and Spirit Guides. Are Brian, Jeremy, Jeff, Paul, and his dad going to meet up again in April? Angels, Masters, and Spirit Guides. Are Brian, Jeremy, Jeff, Paul, and his dad going to meet up again in April? Angels, Masters, and Spirit Guides. Are Brian, Jeremy, Jeff, Paul, and Brian's dad going to meet up again in April? Angels, Masters, and Spirit Guides. Are Brian, Jeremy, Jeff, Paul, and Brian's dad going to meet up again in April? Angels, Masters, and Spirit Guides. Are Brian, Jeff, Jeremy, Paul, and his dad going to meet up again in April? Angels, Masters, and Spirit Guides. Are Brian, Jeff, Jeremy, Paul, and his dad going to meet up again in April? Angels, Masters, and Spirit Guides. Are Brian, Jeff, Jeremy, Paul, and his dad going to meet up again in April? Angels, Masters, and Spirit Guides. Are Brian, Jeff, Jeremy, Paul, and his dad going to meet up again in April? 10 of Cups reversed, the Chariot reversed, 7 of Pentacles, the World, and 5 of Pentacles. I'm sorry, Brian. It doesn't look good. It doesn't look promising. It again, it looks like it doesn't look like all 1, 2, 3, 4. It doesn't look like all 5 of you are not going to be on board. I do see some of you meeting up in April, but in terms of the whole group, I believe we got the 5 of Pentacles in one of the last readings I did for you, asking a similar question. There's someone who is potentially going to abandon this project in the group. And starting with this 10 of Cups reversed card, 10 of Cups upright is harmony, coordination, harmony, very literally in this sense. You guys are making music together. And in order for you guys to make music together, you have to coordinate. All of you have to coordinate. All of you have to be on board. We know you're on board. We know your dad's on board. I think most of you are on board. I think there's one cog in the wheel who's creating this discord, this lack of cohesion, that is leading that is furthermore leading to a lack of forward momentum, a lack of forward motion, a lack of forward movement. As I've mentioned in the past, with any type of art, but especially with being in a band, making music, as a solo artist, it's very easy. You don't have to coordinate with anyone. You can practice on your own time. You can record on your own time. You can perform on your own time. Is it Jeremy, Jeff, or Paul? I don't see. That wasn't the question I asked. I didn't ask which person is the one who's being difficult here. But I'm seeing that not everyone is being difficult, but there's 1 or 2 people that are just not on board. It's not that everyone's not on board. Like, your dad definitely has the passion and the fervor that you have. That I can tell you intuitively, and I've seen it in other readings too. But in regards to what I was saying, this lack of discipline that's not within you. But if you guys can't coordinate to be disciplined in your practice in a regular way, it's not going to lead to forward momentum. And ideally, you guys should be getting together at least once a week. Once a month if things are really, really difficult, but even that's very Seven of Pentacles energy right here. Seven of Pentacles is some forward momentum. That's why I'm saying that it's not. I don't see everyone not being on board, and of course you're on board. You're one of those people, and I've seen your dad is definitely on board in past readings. But the Seven of Pentacles is a card of frustration, a card of of progression. It does indicate some forward movement. That's why I'm saying it's not that this is all for naught and nobody's going to coordinate. I feel like it's particular people or one particular person that's making this project take much longer than it should in terms of just getting the ball rolling, practicing together, getting together. And with this World card, this is also a card of cooperation and cooperation, people getting together. And the World is telling me that while things, I don't see this project coming to an end, I do see there being some adjustments possibly needing to be made in the future. If there's, as I mentioned, there's at least one person who's not on board here. It might be two. It might be two. But if there's even one person who's not on board, like the rest of you, then it's not going to work. You know, if you know, think of any great band. When there's one member who's not on board, they usually get kicked out. They usually end up leaving. Everybody has to be on board. It's a group effort. It's a collaborative Three of Pentacles effort, and that the problem I'm seeing is clearly not with you. And I've never said that, and I don't think you've thought that either. You're very focused. You're very driven. Your passion is strong. I can palpably sense it energetically. It's just that it's your passion project, which isn't to say that the other members of the group don't have passion for it. I do think you have the strongest passion for it, for sure. That doesn't, and that's not to say that everybody has to be exactly as passionate as you, but they do have to be, in order to make this group work, every member has to be on board. And if one member isn't, that member has to be replaced, or, excuse me, some kind of adjustment needs to be made. I know you have a very clear vision of who you want to be in this band, because they're friends of yours and they're great musicians and you guys play good music together and work well together. But if you can't get together to play music and work well together, then it's not going to work. So my best advice to you is, you know, you have a very clear idea of what you want from this project, how you want to see it come to fruition. The only advice I would give you, I think the best advice I could give you is to be open to making adjustments, because there's a lot of potential in this band. There's a lot of potential with this musical project, and it would be, you would be selling you guys would all be selling yourself short to let just one person in the band muck it up for you. You know, I know that you guys are all great musicians and you guys all work well together, but that's also not to say that there aren't other people out there that would also be great musicians. They might not be friends with you, you might not personally know them, but great musicians, disciplined, you know, can set aside a day and a time each week to practice. It's artistry is really about rigor and discipline. Yes, talent, of course, and passion, and creativity, but it's also a practice, it's also a discipline. And you've definitely got that discipline for sure. It's just about finding others that if there's even just one person who's not on board, being open to finding others who will take advantage of being in a great band and working with great musicians, because whoever's not into this, it's their loss. You know, they're losing out here big time on a great opportunity. So yeah, that is what I am seeing for you, Brian. Thank you very much for your donation. I appreciate you as always, and I hope I brought you some clarity there. So the donation queue is open. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Brian, for your donation. Let me add you here again. How is Paul feeling about this project? Okay, and what is Paul's sign? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how is Paul feeling about this Brian's musical project? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how is Paul feeling about their musical project? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how is Paul feeling about their musical project? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how is Paul feeling about the musical project? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how is Paul feeling about their musical project? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how is Paul feeling about their musical project? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how is Paul feeling about their musical project? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how is Paul feeling about their musical project? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how is Paul feeling about their musical project? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how is Paul feeling about their musical project? You think he's a Libra. Okay. Five of Cups, King of Wands reversed, the Magician, Judgment, and Knight of Pentacles. Conflicted. Definitely conflicted. There's two things going on here. In regards to you, the band, the music, the project, he sees the potential here. He really does. He sees what a wonderful opportunity this is. Judgment being a great opportunity to take advantage of. The Magician, he sees the magic that you guys all possess, especially when you guys all get together in harmony. He recognizes the talent within each one of you, the abilities within all of you, within himself, how you guys create this magic. You guys have the sword, the pentacles, the wands, the cups. You've got it all. And this is something that he does. He understands the importance and necessity of the work that needs to be put into a project, an endeavor, a project of this nature with this Knight of Pentacles. I usually save the good news for last, but it wouldn't be cohesive here. So overall, in regards to the project, he knows this is a good opportunity. Kind of like what I was just saying a moment ago, how if someone, I think every member of this project understands that there's a lot of potential here, and he certainly does. But there are a couple of caveats. I don't know. I know he's a friend of yours. I don't know what's going on in his personal life, but it ain't good. There's something going, and I had a sense that this was going on with at least one person, but it's his personal life that's preventing him from being able to coordinate his actions with his desires, if that makes sense. With this Five of Cups, he is in a dark place emotionally right now, and he's aware of the fact that this may have, and correct, and you don't have to answer me this, I don't know if this resonates, but you may have noticed this already, that he might be the problematic one, that he's more difficult to get through to coordinate with. He's an excellent musician, he's a great friend, he's a good guy, but this Five of Cups is telling me that he feels guilty, he feels regretful. He recognizes that he's not putting all of his efforts into this King of Wands reversed. He has all this power, all this agency, and that he's not using. And a lot of that is stemming from not so much feelings of insecurity. He does have security and confidence when it comes to his musical abilities. The energy that I'm sensing here is someone who's suffering personally, mentally, and emotionally on a personal level, completely unrelated to this project. So the good news is that he knows this is a great opportunity. He's on board. He sees the value in it. He sees the value in all of you guys. He sees that he fits well for this project, but he also feels like he might be screwing himself over and losing out on a possible great opportunity if he doesn't get on board in a more, I don't want to say a more serious way, but a more at least in a more disciplined way, a more consistent way. So yeah, that is what I'm seeing for him. Artistically, on the same page for sure. Energetically, emotionally, mentally, in a pretty bad place that's preventing him from being able to put in his all of his energy, all of his power, all of his strength with that King of Wands reversed. And it is something that I do think he recognizes. I doubt he's acknowledged it. Maybe he's acknowledged it. I don't know. But I do believe this is something he's recognized as something that he regrets, something that he's not feeling great about. Like he should be doing more, taking more advantage here, putting more effort in, or at least more intention, like long term. So, yeah, that is what I am seeing for Paul regarding this project, Brian. Thank you very, very much, my friend, for your donation. Again, like I said, I don't know if this is something that you've picked up regarding Paul specifically and the project. but yeah, he's going through a hard time, which is not, I'm not making excuses for him if he's, not been present in the way that he should be, but that is something. It's an obstacle that's been difficult for him to overcome, and allow him to put all of his efforts into the things that are important to him. Thank you very much again, Brian. So the donation queue is open again. And thank you so much, Brian. Thank you, Brian, for your additional donation. How is Brian feeling about me as a friend? Let's see. Or sorry, how is Paul feeling about me as a friend? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how is Paul feeling about Brian as a friend? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how is Paul feeling about Brian? Brian, I'm going to throw this out there for you. My TFI reading, that's why I call it a TFI reading. Some of my clients call it the love spread, but I do the thoughts, feelings, and intentions spread. I've done it for people's coworkers, family members, friends. It will just say what Paul's current thoughts are towards you, his feelings, his intentions, and his general energies towards your friendship. Did you want me to ask his thoughts, feelings, and intentions, or just how he's feeling in general towards you in your friendship overall? Brian, are you there? Just how he's feeling in general. You got it. You got it. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how is Paul feeling about Brian as a friend? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how is Paul feeling about Brian as a friend? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how is Paul feeling about Brian as a friend? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how is Paul feeling about Brian as a friend? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how is Paul currently feeling about Brian as a friend? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how is Paul currently feeling about Brian as a friend? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how is Paul currently feeling about Brian as a friend? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how is Paul currently feeling about Brian as a friend? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how is Paul currently feeling about Brian as a friend? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how is Paul currently feeling about Brian as a friend? Okay. 10 of Cups, Ace of Swords reversed, 8 of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles reversed, and 10 of Pentacles reversed. Okay. So as a friend, I don't know how long the two of you have been friends for, but he deeply values you, and yeah, really values your friendship. 10 of Cups is not just my favorite romance card, it's also my favorite friendship card. I would go so far as to say he considers you, if not his best friend, one of his best friends, one of his closest friends. But there is something that he is not telling you, not expressing. When I say there's something that he's not telling you, I don't mean something like malicious or hurtful, like a secret that he's been hiding from you. It's more he's not expressing everything that he's going through right now. Since 2009, it's been a while. Yeah, it's a long friendship. Yeah, this Ace of Swords reversed. It's more he's not expressing what's on his mind to you at this time. This Eight of Pentacles again is telling me just how much he values your friendship. He does want to continue, of course, being your friend, but he also doesn't want to screw up this opportunity to work with you musically. I'm going to get to it right now. Because he's feeling so insecure, whatever is making him feel insecure in terms of moving forward in this music project with you, this Ace of Swords reverse, whatever he's not explaining, part of that is a fear that if he lets you down, which he's afraid that he's likely to do because he doesn't feel fully, it's not that he doesn't feel confident in his abilities as a musician, it's he doesn't feel confident in his life right now. He feels very, very scattered and out of control. He's not in a good place mentally, And this Queen of Pentacles reversed and this Ten of Pentacles reversed is telling me that part of this is he's afraid he'll lose your friendship if he screws up anything, if in the band, if he's this cog that I've been seeing that stops the wheel from moving. He's really afraid of letting you down. He's really afraid of while he wants to put the work in and wants to work with you, he's afraid that he's Queen of Pentacles reversed, burnout. He's afraid he's too overwhelmed in his life right now to put the energy in that you need and require, and that is required of the band. This Ten of Pentacles reverse is telling me, yeah, he's dealing with an inner conflict of he's fearing losing your friendship if he compromises this opportunity with you. So he's in a really difficult place right now, emotionally, mentally. His mental health is not good, which is what I think he's not. I think there's more to the story that he's not telling you. Again, he knows he's a great musician. He knows he has those abilities. He knows you guys work great. All of you guys work great together as musicians. So this is a wonderful opportunity. But he's in a very low place. And there have been patterns in his life over the past, I'd say maybe year, in which he's shown up late, not shown up for and I'm not talking about just your band, but also in work endeavors, family endeavors, social endeavors. He's not in a good place right now. He's mentally very, very scattered and very ungrounded. And because he's seen this manifest itself in his life, I don't want to say the consequences of his mental imbalance right now or mental illness, but consequences of not taking care of it, of which I don't know if he even has access to, like a therapist or someone to talk to. But there's definitely a lot going on mentally that is making it very difficult for him to be able to fully commit himself to matters of importance. So yeah, that's what I'm seeing there. Is he really, in terms of, we asked how he felt about you as a friend. Well, he really cares about you. He considers you one of his closest, deepest friends, and he's terrified of disappointing you. Yet at the same time, he wants to be there for you, but his fear, which he senses is possible reality, is that he's basically self-fulfilling prophecy. I think he's telling himself, I'm in a dark place right now, so I'm likely to disappoint, which I've been disappointing. He's been disappointing a lot of people in his life, mostly himself. He's really down on himself, and so he's identifying patterns and seeing them as inevitable, instead of, well, if I get involved in this project with Brian more, it'll be something to focus my attention, my mental energies elsewhere, in a productive, creative way with people I love. But he's not in that headspace to see it like that. Right now, he's in a headspace where he knows it's a great opportunity, but he knows that his mind is working against him right now. And that's not permanent. And I'm hoping that he resolves these issues soon, whatever they are. I don't think it's just one. I think there is one main one that's really troubling him, in most aspects of his life. But yeah, in short, he really values your friendship to the point where he's terrified of disappointing you and committing to something that may do that. So yeah, that is what I'm seeing there, Brian. Thank you very much for your donation. I really appreciate you, and definitely hope I brought you some clarity there. So the donation queue is open again. You're very welcome. You're so welcome, Brian. Thank you, my friend. Much love and light to you. Donation queue is open, so whoever donates next will be read for next. Thank you. Actually, I just noticed that I have been on for 2 hours now. So I'm going to do a last call for all donations tonight. If you have a question that you would like me to answer, now would be the time to send your donation and ask your question. Thank you very much. Last call for all donations tonight. Thank you. Last call tonight for any and all donations. Thank you very much. Last call tonight for all donations. Thank you. Last call for all donations tonight. Thank you very much. All right, looks like everyone is happy and taken care of. Thank you all very, very much. Much love and light to you, and I will see you